Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. On today's video I am going to I'm bringing to you guys another budgeting video because it's been a minute since I talked about one of those, and this is what I recently changed my budgeting to. And I actually use three systems now, because it fits me and it fits how I get paid and all of that. Before we get into this video, just a little backstory on my debt and all of that stuff. Beginning of the year, I sat down, and the beginning of 2022, I sat down and did my debt, and I noticed like I was darn near $72,000 in debt. And honestly, I didn't want to bring all of that to YouTube, but I want to let you guys know that it's possible to work yourself out of debt, because as of now, my debt have dropped significant, and I'm very proud of that. It went from, let's see, because I keep everything written down. Make sure you guys get you a notebook and write everything down. I have a finance notebook, I have a YouTube notebook, I have a journaling, I have everything. But my debt went from $70,000 to $52,000. And I am now editing this video, and I noticed I gave you guys the wrong numbers, because I was looking at a lot of numbers when it comes to my debt. My student loans came out to be $52,989, and then the total, including all of my other debts, including one medical bill that I have yet called to see have it been paid off by my insurance people, it was all together was $70,321.18. But then of course I got in the Joe Biden program, where you have to pay a small monthly fee for 4 months, and the year after that, my date to check in is December. And it's based on your income, so it's like a loan forgiveness. But I'm not sure why every time I record I start to sneeze. But anyways, like I said, I am with the Joe Biden program, and like I said, if I need to, I will talk about that program if you guys need me to, or you guys have got that letter in the mail and you just want to know my input on it. But like I said, it was $70,000, and then they took away my student loans, the $52,989. So when they took away all of that, my debt dropped significant to $17,332.18. I at least want to pay half of this, and that is the main reason why I haven't went on ahead and pushed myself into my business, because I know when you push yourself in your business and you forget about all the other little small things that will add up, or things that will come out your bank account. I know majority of you guys are looking at me and saying like you should have a different business account, which I know and I do have, but at the same time I don't want two different accounts with a lot of payments coming out at one time, because it's hard for me to keep up with that. So I figured if I can pay at least $9,000 by the end of this year, then I will be ready to go ahead and open up my business. And then when I pay off that $9,000, then of course I only have like roughly $8,400 left, and then I can go ahead and do that. So I will still be in alignment. We'll open up my business by my birthday. That is my date that I do have planned for my business to completely be open, and that is my gift to me. So I at least want to be out of debt before my birthday, which is in July. So I'm trying to pay everything up by June the 5th, which is my mom's birthday, so I can get that squared away. I just have to give myself some deadlines, because if I don't, then I take my sweet time trying to get stuff done.
Over the weekend, I did have my partner go ahead and meet uh, with a potential vendor, and she did get the contract signed. It was a headache. I will talk about that in my business series. So, yeah, but let's get back to the video that we have at hand.
And it's very helpful, but I think a big chunk of it was my student loans, which was like $52,000, almost 53,000, and student loan debt. And with the program that Biden came out with, it kind of wiped that away. And the only thing I have to pay for the next month up until December is $249.75, and my debt will be completely paid off. And I'm super happy about that. It take one gray string away. Um, but then I have a lot of credit card debts. Well, not a lot of them. I had like one, two, three credit card debts, and then I have like one medical bill I think have been paid off, or it hasn't. I just haven't checked on it, and I haven't received any mail on it, so I have to call and see about that. And also, I'm still paying back that time I got scammed by a so-called church. I have to pay that back also. So once all of that is paid off, I will be like debt free. I'm super happy because lately I have been putting $500 towards each one of them, and it's getting knocked out like dominoes, and I'm super happy about that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started in this video. So I want to let you guys know I have been using the envelope method. I have been using that for a minute. I just haven't really got serious until now on that envelope method. I really don't do a lot of challenges when it comes to that, because I don't want to stretch my money so thin to where I feel like I'm obligated to put money into each envelope. I don't do it that way. I just pick things that are significant that I do on a daily basis, or I do every other month. Those are what my envelopes consist of, and I will be bringing that to my channel real soon. I'm just not ready to put that into rotation yet. Also, I have been doing the budget that I'm gonna talk about today, which is the half payment budget. I have been doing that, and I'm gonna talk about it, but it's basically where you split your bill in half, and for the first 2 weeks you pay one payment, then the last 2 weeks you pay one payment. And then also I have combined zero base budgeting also, so I give every cent a name, so I won't have to dibble and dab back into my bank account, or to go to the ATM to get extra cash out. So that is where the zero base budget comes in handy. So yeah. Let me, if you guys are budgeting, let me know like which budgeting tips help you guys and all of that stuff. But let's go ahead and talk about half payment budget. Like I said, if you have like fixed bills like water bills, any loans, any credit card debts, any student loans, you can all those are called fixed bills. And so one paycheck will cover one half of one, the other paycheck will cover the other half. But to me, this is the best way to have a bi-weekly budget. Is to split your bills in half, so one of your paychecks would not have to cover the whole exact thing. And plus, I feel like the company that you are in debt with, I really feel like they don't care how you pay or how you break it down easy for you, just long as you pay the amount that's due each month, and also you're paying something. I know like my number, like I always tell you guys, is 88. So for my first paycheck of the month, I spend 88 on everything. Then the second, it'd be 88. And then before I know it, I done paid more than I need to pay on each bill. And sometimes when I pay my other bills, and sometimes I have like a little bit left over, the lowest debt that I have will get the extra change that's being left over. So let's say I have like $150 left in my bank account, And I noticed like it's just sitting there and it's not drawing like interest or anything. It's just sitting there. I will either split it in half so I can make the next 2 weeks on it, or I will take the whole thing and put it towards my lowest debt that I need to go ahead and pay off. Honestly, the debt that I did have, I was putting spare change. I was doing everything and I got it paid off within 3 months. And I mean, when I say spare change, I mean I roll up nickel dimes, whatever I have left over from when I withdraw money from my bank account. I always put it towards that account, and that's how I really paid it off, with spare change. And yeah, so like I said, if you get paid bi-weekly or twice a month, sometimes people get paid they get paid once a month. Um and that's kind of hard. I really haven't found like a method for that yet, except for the envelope method. That's the only thing that I can see that will work since you get paid monthly. Is the envelope method. I will say another one is probably the zero base that will work for that. I'm not sure, but I will possibly sit down and see like what works best if you get paid monthly. But like I said, if you get paid bi-weekly or you get paid twice a month, some people get paid on the 15th and the 30th. If you get paid somewhat like that, then this method is great for you because you'll have half of your payments down on the 15th. And all you got to do is come behind on the 30th and just completely pay it off. And sometimes when it comes to bi-weekly, sometimes you do have a month. I think you get like 2 months. If it's one or two. I know December is one. And then it's another month where you get paid 3 paychecks. If it is set up like that, set one of your paychecks to the side and use it as like a buffer or a waterfall, or what I like to say, a balancer. Let's just say one of your debts is like $59 and some cents. Take whatever that buffer is and just balance it out. That's the way I used to do it. Sometimes I put it in my savings, so when I know I like one or 2 weeks I'm not getting my full 40 hours, I know that in my savings is sitting like an extra paycheck I can use towards my bills. Now, what I will say, do not make it a habit using your buffer because you're trying to get out of debt. Don't use something that you don't have. For instance, let's say you get an extra $800 check that week, that month. Just put that to the side. Now, when you finish like balancing out each debt, or putting money towards each debt, or even putting extra money in the envelopes you do have, make sure you leave enough. I try to leave at least, if I'm gonna get an extra check, I'll try to leave at least $450 in the bank, just so it could cover my extra expenses on the first of every year. Because for some reason, it seemed like all my bills double up at the first of every year. And you know, that's when you have to pay taxes and all that stuff. And you guys, land taxes is expensive. So, yeah, so I tried to do that. I need to do something with this land instead of just holding on to it and just paying it. I need to do something to it. So, but that will come in handy when I get my business completely finished, and it's almost there, thank God. But like I said, with anything, there are advantages and there are some disadvantages. Like I said, some advantages to a half payment is basically where you have like where you can like, it's a simple way to keep your expenses at bay. Like, you can keep control of what's going on in your bank account. You could keep control of what's coming in your bank account. You could keep control of lowering your bills. You could keep control of all of this stuff with just the half payment. Like I said, you will know where your money goes, because some of us, we don't take control of our expenses until either something bad happens, like we lose our job, or we get an unexpected medical bill, or our car break down because we're not getting it regularly checked out. So when that big bill come, it puts you in a hole. And then sometimes we try to use credit cards, loans, all of those stuff to get us out of a hole. And that's why your emergency comes in handy. If you guys have not watched the emergency video, go ahead and click the link below this video, because I will have my whole budgeting playlist in the description box. You won't be able to overspend. And I think this is like a great budgeting system to use, because you're not living paycheck to paycheck. I know when we're working in retail, it's kind of hard not to live from paycheck to paycheck, because sometimes you have to buy uniforms, sometimes you have to buy gas, sometimes you have to buy food, sometimes you have to go in when other people's not going in, but you forgot to budget that into your gas, so it's more gas and more things you have to pay for. So this is like a good cycle that will help you break the paycheck to paycheck system. Now I'm not judging anybody by any means necessary, because I know how it feels to live paycheck to paycheck. My account is not always sitting on swole. Trust me. I do have bills that I forgot way about, and I didn't budget them into my account. So then when the counter hits my account, I'm like, okay, where did this bitch come from? So I have to pay close attention to things like that. I do go back the month before I start putting out before I start budgeting for the month ahead. I always go back a month and see like what everything went, how much I spent, where I can get rid of some things, where I can add some things, where I can adjust, what subscriptions I need to get rid of. Honestly, if anybody has an HP printer and you see yourself constantly printing, I have this ink subscription where I'm paying like anywhere from $5 to $10 a month, and they send you ink and they send you paper. But to me, I'm not really with their paper, because I hate HP paper. I like to go to Walmart and get that $5 recycled paper, because I know if I spend $5, it's going to a cause. So that's what I do, and I don't have to go to town and spend $50 on black ink, $75 on tricolor ink. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, so that is a subscription that I have been keeping. I'm not getting rid of that subscription, so I have to add that into my monthly budget also. And sometimes I feel like another thing that this do is it kind of ends the stress feeling. Because before I even got on this half payment thing, I was on it where I scheduled it where I have to pay every payment full every time I get paid, and that was kind of stressing me out, stretching me out, and it gray hairs coming from everywhere, you guys. So I got to where cut back, and I'm like, what system fits me that would not have me stressed out, that would make me feel like I'm in control? So that's when I came up with the half payment. So when you do the half payment, you don't have to worry about, okay, by the 30th, I need to have $500 going into this account, or my lights will be shut off. I need to have $300 going into this account, or it go in collections. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I really switched over to this, so I could be stress free. So and when this comes, like when I always had to pay the full payment, the things that I didn't have the full payment for, I felt like I had to use my credit cards just to bridge the gap. And sometimes I was constantly using the credit card just to get to my next paycheck. And that paycheck and paycheck is crazy. Because I have my moments where I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Because at the first of the month, I try to knock out a lot of my bills, like my water bill, light bill, all those things I try to knock out before the 15th. So when I get paid again, it's like another 2 weeks I have to wait. But in reality it's just 1 week, but it's 2 weeks, so I could put more money back in the hole that I took it out of. So that's the reason why I said you have to find a budget to where you won't have to use your credit card as much as you would your paycheck. So that's the reason why I always tell you guys, have you a backup plan for your backup plan for your backup plan. You get what I'm saying? I always go step A, B, C, D, and then all the way to Z until you get out of debt. Now, I do make it seem like debt is easy to get out of, but it's not. By any means necessary, it's not. I have been in debt for 5 years since I left college. So, and that was 2015. And now it's like I'm kind of easing up, like I can see the light. So I'm trying to stay there. I'm trying to get away from these credit cards. I always told people I would never get a credit card. And lo and behold, I got 3 of them bitches. So I'm trying to get rid of those. I'm kind of glad that it's not drawing so much interest. And the credit card I do have is not drawing interest. It's probably 1% interest. So I'm kind of happy about that. I'm not one of those people who got a credit card that is 25, 26 interest plus $35 on top of that. Plus, I'm glad I don't have one of them credit cards. Now, like I said, the only disadvantage with this, well, the 3 disadvantages with this budgeting system, I must say, it is a lot of work. You do have to do a lot of work. You do have to do a lot of calculations. You do have to do a lot of writing unless you can know how to use Excel, and you'll have a lot of charts. It's a lot of work. I'm not trying to deter you away from it. I'm just letting you guys know it is a lot of work to keep up with the numbers, to keep up what you have paid, what you haven't paid, what you need to pay, how much you need to pay, when it needs to be paid, and how much you need to be paid it off. So it's a lot of things you have to keep up with, and I'm the type of person who likes to write everything down. I don't like the electronic version. I like to see the numbers. I like to visualize what it would be if I move something here, if I take something from here. That's just me. It does take time to get used to the idea that you can't touch the other half of your payments, okay? So let's just say you doing half now. So most of you guys are probably asking, okay, if I'm only paying half of my bills, what do I do with the other half of my paycheck? The other half of your paycheck is to buy groceries, is to buy gas, is to buy the necessities that you need, not things you want, things you need. And whatever is left over from that, that is when you put into savings and all of that stuff. And I try, if I know I like to spend or like to go to aroma sales or a garage sales, or if I like to go just riding on the weekends with my friends, I always take out no more than $100. Now, some of you guys are probably looking at me, $100 is a lot, but it's not. When you break $100, just know that you got $20 left, okay? That's the way I see it. And the third thing I will say is the big overall, it's hard to set this up to where you could pay half payments. Now, if you have a big credit card bill and it's been drawing interest, you haven't been paying nothing on it, pay the interest first. Please, pay the interest. Go ahead and pull up that big interest amount, pay that first, and then start chipping away with a little change here and there. You get what I'm saying? So, I hope this video helped you guys. If you guys have any more questions on how I do my budgeting, I do want to do like a class or something talking about budgeting, but I just don't know how I'm going to set that up right now. But like I said, if you guys ever want to know like how I get out of debt myself, let me know in the comment sections below. If you guys have any more questions about this budgeting system, let me know. If you guys have any questions about anything that I talked about in this video, let me know in the comment section also. This is the end of this video. I hope you guys have a great day, a great afternoon. Whenever you are watching this, enjoy your family and stay prayed up and stay safe out there, you guys. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.